What's up, homie?
Yes, sir.
There they go. There they go.
Mr. Ronald
Series
Moten.
5.
Yeah.
Keep hope alive.
Yes, sir, man.
All right, so look, man, we got the Prince of Go-Go, the Bad Boys of Go-Go, Big G here, man. So how did this, like, how do you even find these apps? Like, how did it start, like, your design? Like,
So with this right here, I'm gonna tell you how the whole thought process of the museum even changed. We were at the conference, the African American Museum Conference, and it was this company there called Time Looper, and they had an exhibit like this of a president, an AI hologram powered exhibit, and I was like, oh shit. So we went from this, then I was like, how much would this cost? How much would that cost? So we're talking about $500,000 in just the exhibits, as far as interactive exhibits.
Okay.
And the only other museum that has something like this is the Jewish Holocaust Museum. So when you start talking about innovation, we're on the same level as the Jewish Holocaust Museum. And some people don't understand that, but those who can process that. In Southeast Washington, D.C., we have state-of-the-art AI hologram intelligent exhibit. So initially it's supposed to be Chuck Brown, but we still have to work that out. So I believe like when the 50 years of Go-Go's is celebrated next year, this should be Chuck Brown greeting you when you come in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you demonstrate for us?
Yeah,
How it
so
works?
Big G, who is Scooby?
Scooby, whose real name is Frank Scooby Sirius, is a talented guitarist and singer.
Oh, yeah.
He leads Sirius Company alongside Miss Kim and is also part of the Chuck Brown Band.
Oh, yeah.
A native of Southeast Washington, Scooby has made a name for himself in the go-go scene and beyond, even winning a competition at Harlem's Apollo Theater. He's known for his contributions to the grown and sexy genre with various go-go bands. Have you heard any of his music?
Yes, I've heard some of his music. Heard a lot of his music.
Sunshine. He had a song called Sunshine.
Sunshine is a great track. Scooby style really shines through in that song. His ability to blend different genres while staying true to the go-go roots is impressive.
man, impressive.
I've
Do
made
you
it.
have a favorite part of the song?
Yeah.
When he talks about his children.
That's a touching part of the song. Scooby's ability to weave personal stories and emotions into his music really connects with listeners. It adds a layer of authenticity and warmth. It's always nice to hear artists share those personal moments. Do you have any other favorite songs by Scooby or other go-go
So when the young
artists?
people come in here, they often go back and forth in a conversation with Big G.
Okay.
And the interactive exhibits, always my son is 5 years old, it really helps. You know, I go in museums all the time, and they might be 10 times the size of this.
Right.
But they can't get this much content in a place 10 times the size of this. And that's why the interact touchscreens exhibits really help us do something that you don't really see done that often, where it touches different generations and make everybody, you know, feel like they can dive into it.
Yeah, and it's educational.
So,
Yeah.
so what is it linked to? Like, how does it get the data?
So basically, what me and Natalie did, we dumped a lot of
stuff.
go-go information in there as much as we could. You know what I'm saying?
I'm in a band called DC Vibe. Please, thank you.
Where did Spotlight on the Butt Cheeks come from?
You're probably thinking about the song Da Butt by Experience.
Da, but
So a lot of it's from what's dumped into it, and then it pulls from other places as well. But
Okay.
we kind of cut down on it, because sometimes you can go to the internet and pull misinformation.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So we had our tech people try to narrow that down, like not pulling from Wikipedia and places like that, because a lot of times that gives misinformation.
I got you. That's cool. So talk about a little bit about the fashion exhibit, because you know they say streetwear started in DC.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, this is very important to me. This is where me and Natalie met where she did a story on where she was working with the Washington Post on streetwear. And most people don't know my history with streetwear in DC.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, started with Madness, you know, early 80s, late 70s, they were selling t-shirts out the trunk of their cars at the Go-Go's. So any given night, it might be 20 Go-Go's going on, right? So they had Larry, Ty, Ed, Scotty, they had all these different places pumping, right? So then they opened up a store, the Madness shop, up on Georgia Avenue. And you know, after that, other people like DDTP came and all that. But then they were doing millions. I remember one year they sold $700,000 worth of those keychains right there.
Wow.
There's a story in the Washington Post on it. But then they was doing so much bulk, they had to get a mass producer, which was Mr. Kong. So Mr. Kong had hired Polo and Billy the Kid were working with him, and they were the front and partners of the clothing line. But Mr. Kong was copying their styles. And then dropped the price in half, almost put them out of business. Because that came, and then Walmart came at the same time selling t-shirts for $5.
Right.
So they called Ronald Moten. Ronald Moten helped organize the Unit Clothing Association. And the Unit Clothing Association, that's an official shirt from when everybody came together and worked together as a whole. And Mr. Khan went out of business. Yeah. Right? Now, I would tell you a story about this. The only thing I regret about it is what we have a problem with as a people in general. After this, I try to get them all to come together and order bulk, order clothes in bulk together, right? And, you know, everybody was comfortable staying in their own lane. You know how we do. It was like, I'm good, you know. And they went back. They were cool, but everybody went back. We stopped the big threat, but we could have did something different. So at that time, Lux Tees was doing a shirt for urban designers in DC. But they were the ones that gave them the blueprint for the design, the tight collar and the sleeve. That was us. Right. And they made it for us. Then Lux T, guess what they did after this, after we didn't come together and order it ourselves? Lux T told all the designers that we no longer can sell to you. We have an exclusive deal with DTLR.
Wow.
So I'm just saying, like, there's so many stories I can tell you, but bottom line, we won, you know what I'm saying? Everybody came together, and it shows you what we do as a people, just like Don't Mute DC and everything else. When we come together, nothing can stop us. Nothing can stop the culture. And what people don't know, when I was working with the Hobo Shop, I was working with them. They had Joppy wear the stuff in the ring when I introduced Joppy to Hobo. Yep. And Joppy wore that in the ring. Before this, nobody advertised in boxing rings except Everlast. Once again, DC started this. Right. Then you can go back and watch all fights. You would never see nobody with anything in the ring before William Joppy other than Everlast, on the mat and on them. Yeah. After this, they had the same manager, right? Hasim Rockman. Hasim won, and back then the heavyweight champion of the world was the most prize fighter of that time. Yeah. So when Hasim won, it just really blew up. Yeah, and then after that, you start seeing Corona and all this other stuff in the boxing ring as far as advertising. Even Hobo underneath the Wizards game, underneath the seats were advertised. Yeah. Right? Yeah. So people don't like, we always have done stuff in this city. That's why people admire us. We don't act, we just go do. Yeah. Right. And that's what these brothers did with the Madness shop. And matter of fact, Carl Kanai came down to DC to try to put their stuff in the Madness shop. Oh, and they was like, we good. Puff Daddy before Baby Or used to hang with the brothers at the Madness shop. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So when he was at Howard University, so it's a lot of history and things to be proud of. And that's what we teach the young people when they come in here. Right. Like, respect your history, love your history, and be proud of your history in DC, because a lot of people are envied it for just like the New Balance, you know? You know, I got a lot of friends in Baltimore, but y'all can't win that battle. Oh, you know, so go get the flicks. We got our flicks. Right. Go get your flicks from that time and show yourself with some New Balance on. Can't find it. Won't find it, right? Now, I love them, but we don't disagree on that one. You know what I'm saying?
So when the kids come in, do you give them the tour, or they just come in?
No, so we have, some of the author is my master tour. Okay. Because he takes them through the museum and they get the tour, or I do the tour, and we got other people who do. Matter of fact, we have a whole group of students at Anacostia right now being trained to be tour guides. So they've been trained to be tour guides in the museum and to do walking tours in the community. So, but when the young people come in, all students, all people, they'll come through, we do the tour, and they finish in the basement learning how to play go-go. So we teach them, when we do like the paid tours, we teach them in the end when Susie out of here is how to play go-go.
I can imagine how important it is for the kids of the city and all over really to kind of see this kind of thing, because we won't really see it right away, the after effects of it. You know what I mean? Like, we're gonna see this we'll see the impact 10 years from now about a kid coming through the Go-Go Museum and being inspired. You know what I mean? Like much like we were inspired as kids, where we were inspired in the late '80s by Junkyard and Bugs and those kind of people. But you didn't see the effects, the real impact of it until maybe 10 years later when we was playing in bands.
Well, I tell you this, Scuba, we're seeing the effects of all of our work right now because there are 5 young youth go-go bands in high schools again. That's how you measure the effect. Not us old-ass brothers that wanted to be all about us.
Right.
When you see young people coming into the game and start like, damn, this is all right. You know what I think about? I think about Pocket 3. When I look at Pocket 3, I watched them closer than anybody. I remember when the Congo player really wasn't crazy about it. He was doing it. I think more so because his parents. I remember having them play at the Kennedy Center when we put him on the stage in the Kennedy Center with Backyard, right? And him starting to get on those platforms where he felt like a superstar. Once that kick in, his basketball thing, I'm sure he still play basketball, but he feels just as good about playing the Congos. I watch him, right? That's what we got to get the youngest. We got to get in them platforms again. Everybody's talking about why the youngest at these meetups. They had to meet us because the governments in D.C. and Virginia took away everything we had, which was where we could go to a go-go, a matinee go-go as a child, and enjoy ourselves and be children. For the last 14 years, young people still don't have nowhere to go to be children and enjoy the culture like we did. Unless it's the one that the Department of Recreations are doing right now. Outside of that, they don't have nowhere. So, be giving them these platforms again to embrace their culture and see how powerful it is. Like, it ain't just about the music, it's spiritual. Like, it's activism, it's all this stuff in one. So when they get to see the power and how it pulls people together, right? Then we doing something.
That's what's up, man.
And then, we also talk about big Mr. G, who started a whole economy. Like, most people don't appreciate the go-go economy. Before all these people came to our city after Mayor Anthony Williams, right? Go-go was what was the spark of the economy. It was the underground economy that kept the economy going. It would be no Ben's Chili Boat without go-go. Because everybody used to leave the go-go. It might be 20 go-go's going on, remember? So that everybody would go to Ben's, Florida Avenue Grill, Georgetown Cafe, Goins, all over the city because of go-go's. Everybody would go shopping before the go-go's. They would go get their urban sportswear, go to Georgetown, go to Sabiato's, go to Landover Mall, go to Pentagon City. All these places, people were going shopping because you had 20 go-go's going on. And everybody in D.C. was fly. We didn't go to West London. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of times, the security guards, the flyer companies, this company right here went out of business when it was 100 years old in 2010, Globe Posters. They went out of business because DC passed a law that you couldn't put the posters on the trees no more. On the Pepco lamp posters. That's how powerful go-go was. So it was an economy it still is, for so many businesses. The brothers who sold the CD tapes and all that. So many people benefited from go-go and still do. And people just don't, and they need to know that. The power that we have when we support each other, support black businesses, the black economy as a whole. The sound companies, you know what I'm saying, that you got right here on the floor. And one of my most important things to me about go-go is this one right here. Among the only popular black music genres that has not been colonized. Why is that important? We still have some sense of control of our music. Think about hip hop. We started at the same time, right? But hip hop has been colonized and they don't control it no more. So young people are being incentivized for putting out poison in their own community rather. So like when you talk about you glorifying using Percocets, killing your brother, selling drugs, all these different things, right?
Being hoes.
Right, so being hoes, all that, right? So when you do that, you're brainwashing our children into doing it because the only way they get some money if they do something like that. Versus with go-go, if you talk about all that, you won't play nowhere in DC no more. The government not gonna fund it, no clubs gonna let you play, you ain't gonna put them on the show with you, right? So we still have some sense of control of our music. So even though some people say, well, it's a lot of rappers making money, well, maybe, it's some bands in DC.
What cost, though?
Yeah, what cost, but some bands in DC that they make some good money too, right? And so what I'm saying, there's some things we got to do better at. But overall, us not being colonized, some people can say it's a blessing and a curse, but it's also a blessing in that. You know what I'm saying? So Yeah.
Now this is a 2-level establishment.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So in the basement, and I know we kind of skimming through, but in the basement you got a complete setup and teaching kids how to play.
Okay. EU got his own wall.
As we walk past the EU
wall.
The EU exhibit. How did that come about?
So Natalie and Charles Stephenson, we had worked together, and they did an actual a piece on 50 years of EU.
Okay.
Right? So they had already archived and did an exhibit on it virtually.
Mm-hmm.
So we just took that. I wanted to do something on EU, so it was easy to do because they already did the work on this one. Okay. So we took the content that they had, and I went out and got the artifacts from people like Junie, Charles Stephenson, and people like that to help. And I went and found the records and all that, you know, and Salt and Pepper, the tour jacket from Charles Stephenson, the Billboard, when EU was #1 on the Billboard. My brother's, before he passed, his guitar, you know, he was one of the best to ever do it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so we got a lot of things because they were cooperating with us. You know, a lot of times people say, well, I didn't get this, I put a call out, brother. And some people came running to me with the stuff. And it was so, and that's what I appreciate about EU and Sugar Bear. When I called him, he didn't hesitate to help. A lot of things are time sensitive, and they helped us with getting everything we needed, and Natalie and them had already did the work for this exhibit, so all we had to do is go with our content, people, and figure out like how we were gonna lay it out, and this is what the vision was, and this is what happened.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah.
EU is definitely, Sugar Bear is definitely a pioneer and a legend, living legend for me.
Yep.
Yes,
Then
sir.
this is Go in Cinema. You know, we got an interview with Spike Lee when Spike Lee came here with Sugar Bear. We interviewed them when we did our groundbreaking for the museum, and they were talking about how this whole thing came about. And it came about with him coming to see them play in the 930 Club, right? And it was organic. They was in the right place at the right time, playing Shake It Like a White Girl. And Spike talked about that whole experience. And we also go back to Good to Go, which was a movie that criminalized go-go. Right. Like when Bob Marley died and they were looking for something to replace reggae, right? Island Records, they said go-go would be the next thing. So after that happened, they did the movie, but they put that scene where Captain Fuller was raped by allegedly the guys from the H Street Crew. And it comes out in a movie, a documentary that's on Netflix, right? The Innocent Project, that the police department knew that there was a serial rapist in that area before and after the rape happened, and now these guys, their names is being cleared, from what I understand. Wow. So what I'm saying, it's a lot of information in here when you go through it. You never can get it all in one day. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of content in here about the movie, about the Checker story, Straight Cranking, DC Cab, the Junkyard was in, the biggest show ever that Daryl Brook and Miss Kirkendall did, Go Live. This, school days, etc. So and even here, we go back to 1608.
The year 1608?
1608. So this exhibit, as we approach the centennial of America, which is the 250-year celebration, which is next year, we went back to 1608. Okay. Right? Because you can't start what they tell you to start. You got to start with the real history. So in this community, it's called Anacostia because the not-extinct Anacostia Indians were here. It's named after the Indian tribe that resided here, right? And then it moves forward throughout time, even to this right here, which is 100 years later, when we had over 35,000 Ku Klux Klan men walk down Pennsylvania Avenue. So we give DC history and American history in a way that I haven't seen in a lot of places and make it easy to access. So some of the videos on here, digital, some of my, so. I used to go down by the railroad track. So, and it goes all the way up to when go-go became DC's official music. Okay. So this covers a lot of history, and we can keep adding to it. Yeah. So we're going to add another 5 years to it to go to the 250-year celebration of America. But we concentrate more on DC history and Black history. Okay. And our exhibit.
Dope.
But y'all were gone. Y'all were off when I got there last night.
Oh, yeah,
so I had to come in for Sugar Bear's birthday.
Yeah, absolutely.
7 years old.
Yeah, man.
So when I met Bear and them, right, they were still in Hart Junior High.
Wow.
So Bear was like, he told me he was 14 or 15 years old when I first started with these guys. Yeah, and when your uncle was giving us the blues with the Matadors.
Oh, Keith. Yeah.
I keep telling people I met the Matadors. People don't know they sleep on the Matadors.
Yeah.
Matadors was one of the best bands ever in D.C.
That's what's up.
I'm telling you, they were.
For those of y'all that don't know, man, this is Charles Stephenson.
Yeah, man, they were.
The guy that responsible for managing EU all them years.
Yeah, CJ's Uptown Crew. Yeah, work with Essence. Good friend of Chuck's.
Yeah.
Did the whole nine.
We gotta get you on the podcast, man.
Yeah, I know you got some history, right? Yeah.
Because it's the story, man. I mean, the evolution. I know you getting it with Ron, man.
Yeah.
But the whole story about this evolution of this music.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah, man. But I love you, brothers, because y'all just keep it rolling.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we gonna try to do our part, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it was so good seeing you, man. Pleasant surprise.
So last night, this is another thing. I'm in North Carolina now, right?
Okay.
So I go to the show, and what makes Go-Go so incredible is, and you guys know this, man, but man, people just funny. Wherever you standing, wherever you sitting, wherever you are, you just getting into music.
Having a good time.
Just having a good time. I mean, it's like, and that's why it's so cultural. I told Bear last night, I said, it's the bands, but it's also the audience. Because you can't, I mean, you guys couldn't be effective
without the people,
audience.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
But one thing about that venue, but there's the blues, you can't really see the people. Until they come to the floor.
Yeah,
it's dark. You can't see
So
them.
you feel separated.
Somewhat, but the beauty is they keep a dance floor in front of you, so they walk up.
Right.
So you get the energy from those folks.
Right.
And you can see silhouettes a little bit, right? You can see people having fun, but it's hard to make out, like, especially if they're waving at you like, like, I can't see you.
Yeah, man, but it was good. I mean, so the whole cultural thing really came at me last night when I saw that again. I mean, I said, damn, man, that's. I mean, going back to the panorama room probably before you guys were born. But, you know, panorama room, Knights of Columbus, Shelter Room, all those spots, man. The Go-Go kind of like was born, you know.
How you doing, sister?
Still recording?
He ready to eat? Talking about you ready to film. He talking about you ready to film. He ready to eat.
So I am at the Go-Go Museum and Cafe. Emphasis on the cafe part because y'all know how I like to eat. And Chef Angie has prepared this wonderful taco that I'm going to taste test.
Save me one, brother. Save me one. You can have
that I'm going to taste test.
You and Dirk can get your taste buds together and see. Give us a read.
Oh, Dirk don't eat before 5. So he said I could have his portion of cornbread.
Look, there you go. Take your time, bud. Take your time. Oh, that's seafood.
That's right.
Oh yeah, excuse me, bud. No, that's not yours. Excuse me.
Yeah, this one time.
Chef, you want to tell me a little bit about the menu?
Oh man.
Yes, absolutely. Tastes good, doesn't it? So yeah, the menu. So it's so we built the menu on the journey of Go-Go. So you have it served Africa, the Caribbean, Latin America, and then DC. And so I built them in street food. So when you're at the Go-Go, you can dance while holding the food. But yeah, it's just the journey of Go-Go through food.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That is good.
And see, you guys are in Latin America right now. You know, the fresh seafood with the flour. And I chose flour tortillas because, think of Baja, California.
Okay.
That's the flour tortillas with the shrimp, nice fresh shrimp, a little slaw on top of it, a little cotija cheese.
It's seasoned really, really well.
Thank you.
And
you know it's good when you look at it.
You look at
You keep looking at it like.
I'm a flour tortilla kind of guy anyway. I don't really I'm not a corn guy.
Okay. Let's see.
I mean, I eat it, but that my preference is flour.
Slow down, man. You don't eat one of them knuckles.
The way you eat, man, I need to bring out a couple more, huh?
Listen, this right here is awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Chef Angie, right here at the Go-Go Museum, y'all.
Yeah.
And Cafe.
Man, they really checked all the boxes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Got a little spice on there, a little freshness.
Y'all go ahead and finish the interview.
So this is about LGBTQ in the go-go community. Yeah. Everybody know about striker pose and check it. They know check it, what they used to do in them go-go's. And me, Puffy, Tracy, back in the day, Verna, who's my cousin. And I tell people all the time, back when we grew up, there were LGBT and go-go. But with me, like people like Vernon and Rodney, I love being their friend. You know why? Because they had all the girls with them. Right. So if they put a good word in for you, you were good. And they always had them fresh clothes too, by the way. Right. So they were always cool. They come to the go-go's with the girls around their arms. Because guess what? They was just doing their hair at the salon, or they were dressing them, etc. They were always accepted. Mm-hmm. And they knew who was with them, and we knew who was with us. So we weren't insecure brothers back then. You know what I'm saying? And we didn't play both sides. You was there or you wasn't. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. So they were part of the go-go scene, and we captured Checker, who owned these buildings with me, from the whole thing that I did with turning them from a gang into a social enterprise. And this right here is an article that was in the Washington Post when we were doing the fashion shows. This is when they started the business right here. So Star Erica owned these properties with me, right? Okay. So that's what this is all about right here. Cool. You come here, this is hip hop and go-go. This right here, this exhibit gets a lot of attention, especially from people who are not from DC, because it blows their mind. Whereas though most of them don't know that go-go has been sampled thousands of times by hip hop. People know that we sample hip hop because we're cousins. We're like cousins, right? But they don't know how many times and how go-go was the backdrop of hip hop when it initially started, because they didn't have 1 million producers back then, right? So let's look at here. And go-go had a lot of original content. That's why we got to get back to doing what we do well.
So this kind of gives you an education on who sampled what?
Yeah, it does that, but it also shows you how in the 80s and 90s, nobody, hip-hop, R&B, nobody could perform after a go-go band. They even had to open up or perform with the go-go band. So this exhibit has some of those performances where they collab together, did jam sessions, and then it also has hip-hop artists who use go-go as their backdrop in DC because they couldn't get no play if they didn't. So this is Chuck Brown, for instance. Feel like bustin' loose, give me the beat. Nelly. Oh, cause I feel like bustin' loose, and I feel like touching you. EPMD. Public Enemy. You never have a nice dream. I feel like bustin' loose. Eric B. and Rakim. Need some money. No mistakes allowed.
Crazy.
Kid and Play. Dana Dane. Public Enemy's big. Oh, this one right here. This a beat.
That's dope.
Public Enemy's biggest hit. Trouble Fight for Malcolm. Trouble Funk.
That's
LL Cool J. Pump Me Up. Pump me up. Will Smith.
Hey.
Grandmaster Melly Mel and French Fries. Curtis Blow.
Yeah, it slowed it down.
Lords of the Underground. Run MDC.
Trouble Funk, though.
Boogie Down Productions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ice Cube, Michael Jackson, Shaquille O'Neal. Beastie Boys.
Remember Big Tony said that KRS-One said they are hip hop.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even in 2021.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Somebody did some research.
So it's so many, like Beck.
Beck a big artist too.
Easy.
Yeah, that's tough.
So I can go on for days on this one. It'll blow your mind. But also, this right here, the jam sessions. Backyard, Biz Marquis. Busta Rhymes. Lunas. Backyard. Junkyard and Ice Cube. Your Junkyard and Yo-Yo.
Yeah.
Kanye West and Listen.
Yes, sir. Maybe.
Slick Rick and Listen. Dougie Fresh, NEG. Did it before the baby over. Then you go to DC rappers. Everybody except for DJ Cool had to have a go-go track on the back. So we'll go to Scorpio. Stinky Dink. Fat Rabbit.
Hey, this might be the most impressive.
D.D.
yeah.
Wale. So people love this genre.
Yeah, this
Dope.
that's the most impressive joint right there.
Then this right here is the roll call.
Okay.
Of course, Little Benny, your cousin. To most of us, was the greatest hype man ever.
Yeah.
Right? And these are the people that he and others would call out during the roll call.
Ah,
a lot
all
of
on
the
the wall.
hoods, a lot
Right.
of the names throughout here, places and things. And then if you come in the bathrooms, even the bathrooms have exhibits in them. So this right here, Max Kidd, who was a very important person in go-go, used to put these in the go-go glossary in the cassette tapes.
Uh-huh.
So this is the go-go glossary with the DC slang that he used to put inside the cassette tapes. And we added a few right here, but other than that, all of these we used to put in here. Then you come over here,
They got the love boat.
you come
Up on
over
the
here, these are cassette tape covers that from back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
And all the places that used to sell them.
Ah.
You see Physical Wonder up there. A lot of people
Yeah.
don't know Genuine
Right.
started with Physical
Good one.
Wonder.
Yeah.
So these are a lot of the places. The only place that's still open that sells CDs is the Central Communication Store. It's right there. And also, I forgot to tell you, in the backdrop right here, a lot of people miss this, but these are all shows that happen.
Okay.
Like Wale, Central Groove, Class Bland, Backyard with Devin the Dude, CeeLo Green. The dates and the shows are archived on this whole wall. So it's a lot of shows.
Actual shows.
Actual dates and shows.
Yeah.
And then if you come out back here, this is the Secret Garden where we were having an event at. And the rain stopped it today, but we'll be back on Tuesday. But this is what we're building out here. It's going to be a kitchen over there. We're not finished yet, but some young people helped us build this wall dedicated to Junkyard. Basically, because they played on buckets when they started, because they didn't have the resources to have a whole set like everybody else had. So this right here is a dedication to them, to Junkyard, where we tell the story of Junkyard. People will be able to eat out here soon, have events, brunches. We've had people like Nike already come in and rent the space to do events. So we're doing corporate events here. The Grammy Association has come here and done events here. So we have different people already coming. So this will be telling our story and our history, not just to tourists and the locals, but it be like we going to corporations. We going, like, this is worldwide.
Yeah.
So this is something to be proud of right here in Anacostia. And the other thing people don't know about this area, and I think it's very important for people to know why this is so spiritual. our ancestors walked across that bridge right there. It's called Freedom's Crossing back then. 1862, the slaves walked across that bridge into freedom right here in Anacostia.
Oh.
And when the Freedmen's Bureau gave the money to build Bury Farms, it was those slaves that built Bury Farms, and the money that was left over was the money that started the building of Howard University, and the same slaves helped build Howard. Wow. And people don't know that history. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's important for people to know that when Abraham Lincoln was assassinated, right? The guy Booth was assassinated and rode his horse across that same bridge, went up Go Road and out Branch Avenue into Maryland. Frederick Douglass, who lives up the street, used to walk across the bridge to work in the Navy Yard and to the president, to the White House, right? To talk on our behalf. So it's a lot of history over here that's like spiritual, like, so we connecting with our ancestors, with our music and everything that's here.
Yeah.
So this picture right here, Thomas Ellis, who passed, may he rest in peace, was at Community of Hope Church. And this is a picture that he took at the church. You know, Reverend Lee always made it instrumental for young people in go-go to connect together. Right here, when we did Juneteenth, the march and protest, that was 2020, I believe. We did this, and that's on the go-go floats. By the way, another thing that Ronald Moten created. Not trying to brag, but the reason why we created it, when the MLK parade, when they brought it back, because it was they stopped having it on King's birthday for years, was trying to figure out a way to make people come out.
Right.
So we put the Junkyard Band on the float, and it brought people out. So we kept doing it to this day, every parade. And then that's where everybody started putting the bands on the float. So that goes back to 2010.
Right.
And it went from the float to the Mobile Go-Go Museum, where we put the band on top of the bus and put the exhibits inside the bus.
Yeah.
So it's all evolution. A lot of this stuff is evolution. So here's the Go-Go family tree. Starts with Chuck Brown, of course. So one of the things people don't know, this is the stamp. I go by Chuck Brown. I don't follow nobody else.
By the time 1976 rolled around, I had been working on this thing. We were doing top 40, and I said to break down and do the percussion. And when you break down,
so Chuck says it himself. He started in 1976.
So this is not the 50th year right now.
The 50th year is next year.
From there,
by way of Chuck Brown, not Ron Moten.
Right.
Chuck Brown, okay? The other thing that I admire Chuck Brown for, many of us are returning citizens. Chuck Brown was one of the greatest returning citizens ever.
But then, after I got out of Gordon and started playing for those Latinos and the Girls of Rhythm, and when I got my own band together, I used to go down to Lorton every year and play for the inmates. That's what they wanted to see me do. And when they see me on TV, they all went off.
Oh, I'll bet they did.
You know what I mean?
You were a success story.
Yeah, they said, don't come back here, man. I said, I'm coming back, but it ain't gonna be to do no time. I came back to play.
We played for him for 15 years straight down Lorton. So this is an interview that Camille Cosby, who also grew up in Anacostia, Bill Cosby's wife, who went to Maryland University, she had with him. This is when he did his first song, Bustin' Loose.
My wife, Camille. That was 1979, right?
We gotta start dressing, Joe. We gotta start dressing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We gotta put these clothes on there. Said.
So that's Chuck, and of course, Mr. Magic. So this right here, it goes from Chuck, and it goes down to each generation thereafter. Okay. So we try to get as many people as we could initially in. Some people might have a problem with them not being in it. But I don't know one museum in the world that has everything, right? And the other thing I like to tell people, because a lot of people don't know about construction. Some people never had money, but always got something to say about money, right? But you do a discovery before you build a museum.
Right.
Gallagher and Associates, who did the discovery for this museum, are the same people who did the discovery for the Smithsonian and other museums around the world. All right? This is like a grand organization, grand company. They said this was going to cost $8 million. to do everything we did here, and the mobile museum.
Right.
And in their plans, it wasn't digital exhibits, all digital exhibits.
Right.
It wasn't that.
Right.
So what I'm saying, like a lot of people who've never done it wouldn't understand, but people who've done museums and come to see what's done here, it blows their mind, right? And but you can't expect people who don't understand things like that to understand. So you got to educate them on that type of stuff, because they would never appreciate what's being done and how many people, like we had people from the Smithsonian who helped, Sojan from the Smithsonian Folklife, and people like that, where they give us free sweat equity of something that Gallagher would have charged us for.
Right.
So like all your work and connections that you have from your work over 30 years, like that comes from relationships and work, and then using that as sweat equity to get things that money you had to pay for with money.
Right.
But people never understand or appreciate those things, because sometimes when you make things look easy, people will never appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? But people can never understand how hard it is to do something like this with all the laws and the permits and all the things you have to do. But Chuck Brown did it, so we got to do what we got to do to keep this dream alive.
Yep.
I'm sure he will be happy to see this chart going down all the way to the youngins from Pocket 3, who are now, taking the torch and running with it.
That's big, man.
Right.
This is Women in Go-Go. All right, it's important to honor them, because a lot of people don't know, that women are a force in go-go and very, very intricate in surviving and from this beginning. Because we know Miss Pratt, Miss Neal, Miss Mack, all these women, Marguerite, all these women were very instrumental in the bands that been here over 40 years. All right, Northeast Groove was Red Essence, okay? We had momagers. Let's talk about them behind the scenes. Come on, bitch. All right, here they go right here. We call them momagers. The women who helped start Red Essence, right? Then you got Miss Pratt, the Northeast Groove. Momagers. You know what I'm saying? And Miss Neal, Miss Mack, when they put together Red Essence, their children were getting pimped.
Right.
They were playing for free, and people in the paying. They like, we can do this ourselves. What the hell? And they did it, right? And they nurtured those babies. And Carol Kirkendall, Go-Go Live with Daryl Brooks, and they were behind. All these women were forces behind go-go music, and their story should be told too. Absolutely. And then on the stage, these are a lot of the women behind the scenes. I'm gonna tell y'all something. Y'all remember Scrub? Tell me they ain't copy this, man. You gotta let me know what you think, man. Listen to this. Listen to Pleasure, the first female go-go band.
Yes, y'all. Now listen. I got a man, I love her, don't need a circle or barrel.
Oh yeah, I don't want no scrub. Yeah. Yeah, got that same, yup.
Yeah, they basically just rewrote the words.
Yeah, so, I mean, and then of course, Maisha. To me, she meant a lot. I remember when they were playing at the Tacoma Station with T2 Productions and Belly's.
Yeah.
And we actually had them at the Millennium. I had took them and I did a party, the Boxers Ball. It was for boxers at the Holiday Inn. At this time, Go-Go couldn't play nowhere. All right? Put them in a hotel, and everybody, who them damn Bamas? They was wearing the wigs, and Sugar Bear just came with them, and all that. They turned that damn party out. After that, they went to playing 7 days a week. Sometimes twice on the weekends. The only person that I seen did something even more than that was Polo. Because Polo was taking 3 bands, breaking the band up and had 3 bands playing on one day. I ain't never seen no shit like that. But they was playing 7 days a week, you know what I'm saying? And on a consistent basis, right? And she came to the front of the stage and demanded that women lead. You know what I'm saying? Like it was other women like Miss Kim and others, even before Miss Kim, who did some things as, very, very instrumental. But this woman was managing the band, she was doing the contracts, and she was at the front of the stage, and she wanted to lead the stage, right? And she was very instrumental for the grown and sexy sound that was embraced. So we pay homage to her, and the women respect and pay homage to her as well. So we're actually taking a lot of the women artists to Baltimore on August the 7th. And they're going to be doing a show out there to close out Jazzy Summer Nights with my guy D Chase up in Baltimore. So and Finney.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be like a great experience. But these women, man, deserve their props. And last but not least, y'all know Michelle. Before she got those Grammys, you know, Funky Ned taught her how to play.
Right.
You know, that's her baby's. Well, I ain't gonna say baby's father, child's father. And then this is an event that we curated at the Kennedy Center. So we had 2 drummers playing at the same time, 3 Congo players. This was 5 years ago. At the Kennedy Center. And you gotta think about this. All these things are happening. This is 5 years ago, where go-go was getting indoors, and doors were, barriers were being broken down. A lot of people don't understand that came from relationships, conversations, right? Advocacy, and things. It ain't just happen.
Right.
You know, and a lot of people, I say, they won't appreciate none of that.
Yeah.
Right?
It wasn't just given.
It ain't just happen.
And you gotta keep working to keep.
You gotta keep working to keep the relationships.
Yeah.
You know, so and then go fitness. Sister than that. So that's that. This is Maisha and her clothes.
Oh yeah.
That the family gave us, the hip huggers, the wig they used to wear with the band, and the bell bottom pants before people started back wearing bell bottoms again.
Yeah.
That was Maisha, and she was special sister.
This is one of my favorite things right here.
So this right here is a tribute to the street artists in DC. And so, you know, initially I was trying to do something on Disco Dan. And, you know, sometimes things happen for me for a reason. It was a little difficult. So I remember in the actual film on Disco Dan, he talked about Lisa of the World, who you see there, and R.E. Randy from Woodland, who actually taught him how to do street art. So I was like, why not feature them? Because we always talk about Disco Dan, right? So we featured them in the exhibit, and this exhibit basically was done by Time Looper, and basically what it allows you to do is to be a street artist. And you can, after you finish, you can put it with your phone, you can put stickers on here, you know, so people from out of town, they love this, children love this, and Washingtonians love this exhibit. So I won't draw for the sake of time, but for instance, you can put Martin Luther King on here.
I see all that.
And then you can paint it. After you paint it,
dope.
You take it, and then when you push finish right here, accept, and when it finish sprueling, basically you scan it and it goes to your phone telling the story of go-go.
Okay.
Street art.
Right.
With your picture. And you can post it to your social media.
Yeah.
And eventually we'll be able to put it on a t-shirt like the one upstairs, where we can take your photo from the photo booth with Mr. G and actually put it on your t-shirt. This is our Soundstage, where we do a lot of fusion and with different genres of music, different diasporas. We have a live recording coming up in September that we're doing with Go-Go and Cumbia.
Okay.
That we're gonna do down here. We're doing music classes with young people. And it's just like, you know, it's amazing when young people come on tours. The first thing they ask is, can they go to the stage? And I tell them, just praying they don't mess up an episode, and they don't. So, and they love it. They love learning and teaching, because it's natural.
Right.
So it feels good. And this whole room is soundproof.
Okay.
So when we do our performances and things, it sounds good. When we record down here, it sounds good. So we feel good about this space right here and the stage that we have. This right here, this is the Afro-Modernity. So that's basically with us when we talking about, you know, our journey. Like when most people don't know, when we came from Africa everybody think about America, but more of us went to Brazil. Then we went to Cuba, we went to Mexico, we went to Belize, we went to Jamaica. All these different places we went, and we took our diaspora and created diaspora there. We took our music, the drum and the voice, and we did what we did everywhere, right? So this tells that story. This Royal Pocket exhibit right here shows that story. We see Mickey, Smoke, Saws, and Winko playing together. And basically they perform with artists, different drummers from around the world, right? Showing how we are tied together, how we can lock in together. That's what music and the drum does, right? With real musicians. Right? So we come here to the transatlantic slave, and one of the things that I learned from going to countries like Brazil, and going to countries like Cuba, and places like that, is that we've lost some of the things here that we didn't even know was special. Was that if you go to Brazil, guess where everybody every Sunday? Where they at?
Church.
The church. I ain't talking about just to be in the church. I'm talking about outside the church.
Yeah.
The musicians, the food, and everybody there every Sunday. Remember we used to have go-go's at the church?
Yeah.
Every week? You might not realize that was a connection. You feel what I'm saying? It was a connection, it was respect, and that was lost when they took all the go-go's out of the church. And they still do that where we're from. It's natural. And they understand the superpower of our music and things like that, and they still use it. Some people try to call it like, voodoo and evil and things like that. But it's actually something good with these different diasporas do with using the spiritual powers that our ancestors used. Calling on our ancestors is powerful. They use the music. I'll never forget the Million Man March, and I was there at 6 in the morning, and they did a libation. It was cloudy, it might rain and all this. They did a libation. Right after the libation, calling our ancestors and the drumming, the skies opened up. And then over 2 million people came. Right? I believe all that has something to do with it.
Right.
That's just my belief. Because that's what our ancestors did then, and that's what they do today.
Right.
So we teach young people, we tie all that together. Even about how we remix each other, the music and things like that. There's an art to doing that. You know what I'm saying? Not just in go-go, but when you go to reggae does it and Afrobeats does it. That's just something that we do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Don't Mute DC, of course. You know about that.
Yeah.
Something that me and Natalie co-founded. We had Tony Lewis and Tone P help push it out.
Yeah.
And one of the things I tell people, there's a lot of people who complain and this, that, and other. But this right here was a spark of a lot of the things that you see happening for go-go today.
Yeah.
There's some people who talk a bunch of stuff and do a lot of stuff, and I don't even get into that stuff. But you had people who saying they for go-go now that was on social media saying, if I had my way, I would have called the police too. They saying, I would have did the same thing if I was living in the shape. But now they talking about they advocating for go-go, right? You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But in my heart, and the people I've been working with, and people like Scooby, he always been there. I call you, same thing, always been there. It was never about the money, And people sweat, them youngers in go-go, they took to the streets without asking for anything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you got to respect that.
Yeah.
Because it was organic. Nobody knew what it was going to do. We did it because we loved the culture and it was from the heart.
Yeah.
But 80,000 signatures in 2 days, right? Don't Mute DC hashtag that was started by a Howard University student that was taken and we put into an actual petition. They got 80,000 signatures in 2 days from all over the world because everybody around the world is going through the same thing.
Yeah.
They're being pushed out. They're being gentrified out. Like if you go to Lagos, they can't even play their own music in the clubs in Lagos.
Wow.
Sounds like DC, right?
Right.
So that people feel that. And they got behind us. And one of the things that gave me hope with this, and the people that I know that was a part of it, is that when we saw that petition, this going, it wasn't just black people signing it.
Right.
So it gave me the sense, you know what? There's some good people out here who just don't think about themselves. And so it's time we might be able to come together and get this stuff right. So, and this was one of the times where black people needed the most, because most people walking around saying it's over for black people in DC. And we needed some victories. And this was one of the victories that led to a lot of things that you see on here. Led to policy. We fought to keep the hospital open in Washington, D.C. for 160,000 people.
Yeah.
Right before COVID, who would not have had a hospital.
Right.
We changed that shit in 2 days.
That'd have been devastating.
All right? We changed it in 2 days. People don't give that stuff credit. But you talking about a hospital east of the river that would not have been there because they was going to cut the budget. And we changed that in 2 days. Politicians calling us. Look, we need to talk. All right. Fighting for a halfway house. It still ain't here, by the way. But we fighting to have a halfway house. Fighting for Go-Go to be DC's official music. Yeah. You know, and there's a lot of things that we can talk about on and on and on and on, but people showed up. Yeah. And they weren't getting a check to show up. They showed up because it was right, and they stayed active, and then some people would get upset with these people for benefiting from their label when nobody else wanted to. You know, we the only people that do that. You know, a lot of other people, they take care of their kings and queens that go on the front line. Right. They don't try to turn them down. Right. You know, they take care of them. They honor them. Yeah. You know, we be quick to turn each other down, man. That's something we got fixed. Right.
You know what do you say to the people that that criticize the movement, the museum in general, like, you know, say stuff like, man, that's not how I would have did it, or they say, well, we ain't in there, so I ain't going over there. Like, what do you say to them people overall to say?
I would say they just missing out on something great. It is countless people who come from around the world, countless people who know who've done museums that come is like, oh my God, I have nothing but praise for you. And I would say this, nobody's perfect, but I know what we've done here. Yeah. And I know that, you know, everybody has the opportunity to go do it themselves as well.
And you got something that we can build on.
Yeah, it's something we can build on. Right. Like, at the end of the day, you're never going to get everything in a museum, and it should never be about one person. Right. This is about telling stories. Museums are to tell stories, not to glorify individuals. The only person that should be worried about being glorified in this museum is Chuck Brown. Right. And the museum is not even all about him. Right? It's telling a story about different things in the museum, and it will evolve over time to tell more stories. Right. Like, things that we're working on is for the 50 years of Go-Go, is not just to tell the story in the museum, but outside the museum. You know what I'm saying? And connecting it to other places and other things that will help elevate our music and culture. Right. And it takes a lot of work. Like, a lot of people just don't know the work it takes to do anything. Because they never done nothing. Right? Like, this social media stuff, man, got some people thinking they more than what they are. Like, I'm able to do some of the things that I've done, Natalie and others who helped us, from decades of work and studying and learning.
And relationships.
Relationships, right? And you don't get those overnight. Right. So you can't get mad at somebody who took their life to do things that they didn't get paid for, and now they might benefit from it. To me, it ain't benefiting. I tell people all the time, I told you I paid myself $1,800 last year from the money that came from the museum. I don't know too many people who would do that. When you got a choice to say, okay, this street art museum exhibit's gonna cost $60,000, it's in the budget for you to pay yourself, and you're like, you know what, I ain't gonna pay myself. I want that exhibit in here. Because I think it's gonna be something that's gonna be state of the art to represent our music and culture. Right. Most people are not willing to do that. Most people can't tie policy and teach young people about policy. You know what I'm saying? Which everything we're talking about in this country, the policy that got these buildings right here. You feel what I'm saying? The process of it. Not just running our damn mouths on social media, but showing people how it's actually done. Policy that made Go-Go DC's official music. You feel what I'm saying? So we don't just teach them about that. We teach about that, the Constitution, the rules of the game of life. Like, all this stuff is important what they get when they come to the museum. You know, these are artifacts that were given to us. Kwame, thanks for the Red Essence jacket. Alona gave us some old artifacts. We got the Go-Go Live brochures. DJ Cool's jacket, thank God, he's a great guy. Chuck Brown's shirt from Becky Liaison Records, shirt that he gave to her. Man, I mean, there's a lot of things in here that we put together and we're able to do in a short amount of time. So, I mean,
and it's not finished.
Not finished. We still got to record in the studio. We finished it out in the back. We got a green room right here, so we building that out now. And we have outside. We have a kitchen that we putting outside. Sound system will be up this week. LED wall. So we doing like a lot more than what people can ever done. This whole room is soundproof. So when you play, you can record down here and it sound good. We're gonna be letting bands who create original content, original music, come and record for free. Long as you're doing original music, these are the type of things that we're gonna be doing for the culture. So it's not just about a bunch of talk. We setting up something for our people. You know, when Cam came down here, he brought something we did together, and I was telling Cam, like, I appreciate you. Most people don't give Cam his props. Cam was the one who went to McDuffie and said we should make DC Go-Go's official music after the Don't Move DC movie. I give him his props. And then some people say, Black Alley ain't ready. I'm like, come, y'all need to come to the museum. Why you say that? Go on the Sugar Bear exhibit. And you'll learn when Sugar Bear came out, he was called the Hendrix Experience. He wanted to be a rock band. Right. But when he saw it wasn't going to fly, he went to Go-Go. And some of the band members left because they didn't want to do Go-Go. Right. But most of them stuck with it and rolled with Sugar Bear. But that was a process, and that was part of history. And that's why this is so important. Come and learn the history. Learn your history. And that way you don't have all these, these negative condiments that come.
Well, that's what. If they're not in on it, I mean, make a bigger impact.
You got a chance to do it yourself.
Make a bigger impact and knock down the door. You'll be there anyway.
Make a bigger impact. Go get the money, because it ain't easy. It's a lot of sacrifices. There's a lot of sleepless nights. All right? And I want to thank people like Darren X and Charles Stevens and Scooby, Boogie, and all. I could just call these people at nighttime, be all night pulling information. Everybody who I was calling to get information from, I appreciate the people who really cooperated, because we couldn't do it without the community, the Go-Go community. People like Alona and other people who helped make this happen. It wouldn't have happened. Folk Life, Smithsonian. It took a village. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't easy. Like I said, they said it was going to cost $8 million. And anybody ever do this work, once you get into it, when people start charging you for what you're trying to do, you'll start valuing it a little more.
From permits and everything.
For permits, to archive stuff, to do this, it costs.
Everything costs.
Everything costs.
Well, man, we want to thank you for allowing us to come in here and make it an official tour for SiriusVybe Primetime, man. It's been nothing but educational and enlightening. You know what I mean?
Sir.
So
yes, sir.
We know you got a story, a personal story that we want to dive into one day.
Sir.
So
Sir.
we'll have you on the couch, man. And
I go back to 1995.
Yes, sir.
C5 Don't Smoke the Brothers, Red Door Entertainment. Like I had my own entertainment company. I ain't need nobody. I was doing it. I mean, Mike Tyson, Monica, those type of people came to my parties.
Right.
I'm just, So
we'll get into that. We'll get into all that, man. Everything Ronald Moten, when we had you back on the couch for SiriusVybe Primetime, man. And once again, you ain't been to the Go-Go Museum and Cafe, please come through, man, and learn something.
At least get a taco, right?
Definitely get a taco from Chef Ann.
Definitely get a taco. Leave the lamb for me.
Yes, sir. Well, Ron Moten, we want to thank you, man, for having us, man.
Yes,
and we'll see you soon on the couch, man.
All right.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Impressive.
Yes, sir.
For Ron Moten, I am Frank Sears, a.k.a. Scooby the Godson, along with my partner,
Dirk DC Vibe.
And together we are
SiriusVybe Primetime.
See y'all next time.
Peace.
Right.